G'day, and welcome back to another episode of the Bear Bull Market Boulevard. Today's going to be a little bit of a fun episode. I probably say that every time we start an episode, but today we're going to be talking about the Reserve Bank of Australia, commonly known as the RBA. What we're going to go through today is we firstly want to understand how to use the RBA's website, most importantly, where to find economic data, where to find interest rates, exchange rates, and also other educational resources. So on your screen right now, you're going to be able to see the Reserve Bank of Australia, the RBA's website. But firstly, let's just go really back to the basics. If you Google RBA or Reserve Bank of Australia, first thing that's going to pop up is the Reserve Bank of Australia. So you can just jump straight onto their website. And if you're in the mood for a little bit of comedy or a little bit of fun, please do have a look at their Google reviews. There are some very serious ones. The reason I can't actually click on it is, unfortunately, the last couple Google reviews over the past few hours or past few days are actually quite lewd. So I'm pretty sure if I were to click on them and show you, it would more than likely result in my video being banned on YouTube. Anyway, so go to Google or whatever platform you use to search for things and type in the Reserve Bank of Australia or RBA. First thing that will come up, click on the website and you'll be led to their homepage. So what's some of the most important things that we want to know as consumers or just everyday Australians? So I'm going to use myself as an example. So I am a Australian with a mortgage. So the most important thing for me to understand is, have interest rates changed? So, of course, this will be covered by the news and all these sort of things. But if you want to find out for yourself and really delve into the details, this is a great place to come. And, of course, this is where all the media, the news, all these sort of places, they come to get the information from this website. So it's good for you to know where the actual source of data comes from. So immediately when you get to the homepage, first thing that pops up on the bottom left is the cash rate. So the cash rate currently sits at 4.35%. We've got the inflation rate of 5.4% and the exchange rate compared to the US dollar, of course. So let's go into this a little bit lightly, and we'll start with finding educational pieces. So when you're on the website, if you come across to the bottom here, there is a section for education. So if you click this education tab, you'll be brought through to this area. Now, plenty of different little tabs and things to click on. I will choose, just for this example, we'll click on resources. And through resources, you'll be given a bunch of other details to go through for educational purposes. Now, one of the ones, and I'm not going to click on it, but if you do have your, a spare 15, 20 minutes, one of the ones that I've found quite useful is going through the videos. So the videos actually explain what the Reserve Bank of Australia does, what the RBA does, and what central banks do just in general. So every country, I would assume every country at this stage, does have its own central bank or reserve bank. So reserve banks in each country, their I guess mandate, or what they're supposed to do, is to they're most concerned with inflation, which is essentially the movement of prices on goods and services. So their job is to keep inflation in line with interest rates. Now, that's a bit of a hard one to decode in a very simple video, but essentially, if you watch a couple of these videos, they do explain it in very basic details. I find it quite easy to understand, but there's also a couple of other helpful and informative tabs here. Now, aside from the resources, we do have the exchange rate tab. So if you're wondering what's the Aussie dollar buying at the moment or something along these lines, how much does one Australian dollar get you today compared to a United States dollar or a Chinese renminbi, Japanese yen, anything along these lines? So coming across to the tab on the far right here, 24th of November, which is today, and you can see all the way down here. Now, the next section I'd like to go through with you is the chart packs. So the chart packs are very detailed. A lot of people may not understand some of the data that is actually within these, but it is very handy to know that they do have this information handy. So if you want to look at, let's say Australian growth, the household sector, these sort of things, interest rates, share markets, bond issuance, exchange rates, all these sort of things, they are available in the chart pack. But probably what you're most after, especially from a basic standpoint, will be the statistics section of this website. So on the statistics sorry, section of this website, there is a section called snapshots. So this is certainly the most useful part. When you go into the economic snapshots, you'll be driven to one of these two, most likely. So you'll be driven to the key economic indicator snapshot or the composition of the Australian economy snapshot. So these are updated on a monthly basis. As you can see, this one was most recently updated on the 9th of November, updated after the RBA meets on the first Tuesday of every month. So in this case, on the first Tuesday of November, they did increase the cash rate to 4.35%. And the following key economic data or indicators were also released. So economic growth of 2.1%, inflation is currently at 5.4%. In Australia, our unemployment rate is 3.6%, whereas employment growth is at 2.9%, and so forth and so forth. So it gives you all the sort of main data and economic key points. Whereas the one on the right here, which is the composition of the Australian economy snapshot, shows you more sort of a downward-looking Australian snapshot. So it shows you which state is doing what, export share data. So resources take up 63.3% of our export share, employment ratios, household wealth, and this one actually kind of caught me off guard, but average price of residential dwellings in Australia, $913,000. So reason it caught me off guard is obviously I live in one of the cheaper states, so I don't live in New South Wales or anything along these lines, but there are certain states which certainly, if you've got $913,000, you are getting a very, very nice house. For example, in Tasmania, South Australia, or Western Australia. But essentially, these are the main parts of the RBA's website, and it is just a great little tool to help you understand. Really great example is if you're waiting for the news on the first Tuesday of every month and you're saying, oh, well, in the afternoon, we're going to know what's happening with the cash rate. You can come straight to the website. You don't need to wait for the news outlets or anything along these lines to prepare the information for you. You can just come straight here and see that for yourself. There is always news and announcements, and they'll release these updates themselves, which is what, again, the news will use to create the information that they provide you. For those who are potentially studying finance and economics, this is a great tool to come to. Certainly the statistics part of the website, the chart packs, the researchers, and most importantly, the education side of things. Media releases may not be as important to you. Now, I hope that's given you a really brief. I try to make this video as fast as possible because I just wanted to go into the really basic parts of the RBA's website. But essentially, for those of you watching, I hope we've covered the main bits. The RBA, the Reserve Bank of Australia, is Australia's central bank. Many countries obviously have central banks, and this is where you'll find all the information that you need to understand economic data in Australia. Again, lots of other information from exchange rates, interest rates, so forth. But I hope you did enjoy this video. If you've got any questions, of course, leave a comment. But otherwise, have an absolutely amazing day, and thank you very much for watching this video. Thanks, guys.